Liverpool are fully focused on our midweek Champions League game against PSG. In today's video, we will go over the build-up to that match whilst going over all the latest Liverpool news from the last 24 hours. There is so much to discuss in today's video, so make sure you like this video and subscribe to the channel for more Liverpool content. But first, Liverpool head into their Champions League last 16 clash with PSG, knowing 4 players, including 3 key starters, are at risk of suspension for the decider. The Reds head to Paris Saint-Germain on Wednesday night for the first leg of the Champions League knockout tie in a meeting of England and France's champions-elect. Another wrinkle to the tie comes with 4 players at risk of missing the second leg if they are booked in Paris. That includes Ibrahima Konate, Alexis Mac Allister and Andy Robertson, all of whom are likely to start on Wednesday night, along with Harvey Elliott. Konate, Robertson and Elliott are already on 2 bookings from the league phase, and those are not wiped for the knockouts despite the new format adding more games. Mac Allister already missed the 1-0 win at Girona due to a yellow card suspension, but will be handed an additional ban if he picks up his 5th booking of the tournament. Under UEFA rules, yellow cards only expire after the quarter-final stage, which means those 4 players will remain at risk of a ban, even if they avoid a booking at PSG. It certainly seems harsh for UEFA to uphold this rule from the previous Champions League format, given the new fixtures being added. While clubs are naturally encouraged to ensure player behaviour to avoid any yellow or red cards, it is ridiculous to expect cautions not to tot up and cause suspensions. That is particularly the case given the questionable approach from officials in European competitions, with a number of bookings in Liverpool's league phase games causing confusion. 7 other Liverpool players have been booked once so far in the Champions League, those being Virgil van Dijk, Ryan Gravenberch, Luis Diaz, Darwin Núñez, Kostas Tsimikas and the injured duo of Joe Gomez and Tyler Morton. Despite PSG placing 15th in the inaugural league phase, the tie stands to be a real test for Liverpool, who were handed one of the toughest draws of the last 16 to make a mockery of their efforts in finishing top. But with the second leg at Anfield, they still hold an advantage, with their trip to Parc des Princes hopefully establishing a lead for that decider. Now for the main story, as exiting the FA Cup was a tough pill to swallow, but if it helps Liverpool win other silverware in May, as Arne has suggested, losing to Plymouth will be happily forgotten. Rotation is constantly discussed in modern football. Reserves aren't reserves anymore, they're squad players. Substitutes aren't even substitutes, they're impactors. Well, that is what Mikel Arteta would tell you. Phil Neal's record of playing 417 uninterrupted games is scarcely believable. For the youngest generation, it is not even within the realms of modern football's possibilities. Jurgen Klopp, often through necessity rather than choice, used rotation as a tool to keep his squad players sharp, knowing that they needed to be ready to step in when injury struck. So in a world of constant tactical tweaks and medically induced changes, Slot's attitude to rotation is conspicuous. Liverpool have just concluded a run of 5 key matches in the space of 15 days. During that time, he made 2 changes from Everton to Wolves, both injury enforced, 1 change from Wolves to Aston Villa, 1 change from Aston Villa to Man City, 2 changes from Manchester City to Newcastle. Such consistency of selection simply wasn't an option at this time last season, a period in which Liverpool had to dip into their under-18 squad for players. Credit, therefore, must be given to Slot's staff, new lead physical performance coach Ruben Peters in particular, for getting the squad fit and ready for the run-in. It is harsh, though, to say this was a weakness of Klopp. For much of the debate around fitness and injury, we are perhaps conjecturing in the dark. Without access to private medical data, how are we now to know players are being risked unnecessarily? After all, it is unlikely, but the season could still come crashing down. For now, though, we can assume the incoming fitness staff have had a positive impact on the squad. In other news, after a run of 3 Premier League wins and 2 draws in 15 days, Luis Diaz has praised Arne Slot's squad management, describing the squad as a big family. Rotation has been essential to Liverpool's success this season. While Slot has tended to keep his starting 11 consistent, he has used substitutes effectively to maintain the squad's fitness. Diaz has started on the bench 7 times in the league and twice in Europe this campaign, but he feels the manager has given confidence to the entire squad. The Colombian told club media, "Our coach has settled in really well at the club. He's known just exactly how to manage the group and every single player that he has in the squad, because it cannot be easy for any coach when he has 2 or 3 excellent alternatives for each position on the field to make decisions on who to play and who to leave out. It's not an easy task, but he's been up to it, and he's also given confidence to every single player in his squad." Slot and his staff's approach to each game too has been meticulous. It is something several players, including Diaz, have picked up on. He's put into practice some very important things for us tactically, the Colombian noted. He is very good in that respect, and he also will tell you and put you right when he feels the need to. So that's pretty much how it is. He's managing the group really well. We're creating a great squad of players, a big family if you like, and it's a very humble group which wants to move forward and look to the future. With the prospect of winning a 20th league title becoming increasingly close for Liverpool, the team are keeping their feet on the ground. The usual adage of taking each game one by one appears to be entirely true for Slot. Next up is a trip to the Parc des Princes to play PSG before a home game against Southampton. Diaz continued, "It's a squad that is looking to get results and to keep going game by game on the way to hopefully achieving big things for this club. That's the key here. As I say, it's all about keeping working in the same way and staying focused and remaining grounded because there is still ages to go yet. We need to rest up between games too, as that is going to be super important for us. Take it one game at a time, Reds, silverware beckons, but we shouldn't think anything is certain just yet." Finally, a significant increase in wages paid in the 2023/24 tax year is now explained partly due to the big money payouts given to Jurgen Klopp and his staff. Liverpool announced their financial results for the 2023-24 season on Friday with a £57 million pre-tax loss after a campaign out of the Champions League. The club's media revenue dropped by £38 million as the Reds played out a season in the Europa League, but wages paid increased from the previous year by £13 million. That led to confusion during early projections in January, particularly as a number of high earners left the club in the summer of 2023, including captain Jordan Henderson, Roberto Firmino, Fabinho, Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain, James Milner, and Naby Keita. Liverpool only signed 4 first-team players in Dominic Szoboszlai, Alexis McAllister, Ryan Gravenberch, and Wataru Endo, though Kostas Tsimikas was among those to sign a new contract, and Alisson's pay increased due to a clause in his deal. The sizable increase has now been explained by the Athletic's James Pearce, with the majority of that £13 million paid out to Klopp and his backroom staff upon their exit. Klopp, Pepin Linders, Vaita Martos, John Achterberg, Andreas Kornmeier, Andreas Schlumberger, and Jack Robinson were among those to leave, and those who still had time left on their contracts received a combined £9.6 million. Furthermore, bonuses were paid to players for their performance in the Champions League in 2022-23, having reached the last 16 of the tournament, with those included in the 2023-24 results. That could feasibly have included a major increase in the performance bonuses for Mohamed Salah, who agreed a new contract in July 2022. Liverpool's financial results for the campaign just gone go some way to explain the balance required in ongoing talks over extensions for Salah, Virgil van Dijk, and Trent Alexander-Arnold. But that is all for today's video. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please drop a like on the video and subscribe to the channel for daily Liverpool content. Thank you. I'll see you in the next video.